Thanks for joining me on Broken Dolly TV today, pretty people. My name is Gypsy. If you're new here, I hope you'll stick around and hang out with me. And if you are not, welcome back to the channel. I want to give a quick shout out to Love My Life 65 who left this comment. I love playing The Sims. Can you list the CC creators you use and where to find them? This question wasn't that specific about exactly what CC you're wondering about, so I'm gonna just start off with my hair collection today. I do want to state that I use a few different applications to sort and organize my CC and also to find CC. So one of the things that I use is called Sims 4 Mod Manager, and that's this program here. Yours, when you download it, it's going to look a little bit different because I have mine all organized by folders and things like that. But at a glance, you can see like all the CC that you own. So you can see the thumbnails for them, you can see what they look like, and it's a lot easier for you to keep track of your CC here like this, rather than going through your actual mods folder where everything is just text and it's difficult to tell things apart from each other. So that's why this is so helpful for me to figure out what I'm doing with my CC. And you can also deactivate from here, or you can just delete stuff from here as well. So this is so useful, like y'all don't even understand how useful this thing is. Maybe I'll show you guys if you want to know how I use this to keep everything organized. But yeah, so I definitely need Sims 4 Mod Manager, so you don't have to go to all these different websites and pages to download things. And then when you do find something you like, all you gotta do is hit the install button. It'll unzip the files for you, and that's where Mod Manager comes in handy, so you can sort everything over there later. You just gotta hit the button and then turn your game on and keep it moving. It's so simple. Very, very good for people who don't have time for that, looking around for all kinds of CC and organizing things. So I just wanted to start off by letting you guys know that most of the stuff that I'm showing you, it's gonna be stuff that I downloaded from here. So if you're wondering about where I got them from, almost everything I have for hair CC I got from CurseForge, and you just have to search in here what you're looking for. If I put in, and you can just put in different synonyms of things if you're not finding what you're looking for. Most of the stuff that you're gonna find here is Maxis Match. So if you're into Maxis Match CC, then you're gonna probably not have a shortage of things to find in here, but there are some alpha CC in here as well. So just, you have to look at everything and figure out what you want. So that's what I do. And then let's just jump into the game so I can show you guys all of the different hairs that I have that are my favorites, because I have so much. But we're gonna start with girl stuff, and I'll show you guys what my favorites are based on creators. For this particular episode, I wanted to share with you guys mostly the hair CC that I have, because I have so much stuff in my game for custom content that I already know it's going to take forever to show you guys like everything in one video. So I'll have to break them up into categories for you. If there's a specific category of CC that you would like to see, then let me know in the comment section for sure. And this is one of my starter Sims. She doesn't have a name because she's just a blank canvas for me to start with, like a pre-made Sim basically. And I just tweak her as needed for different characters that I have. So my focus when I'm downloading CC is to look for hairs that have a specific kind of a look. Like, I'm looking for things that I can use for ethnic Sims a lot, because most of my Sims are fashioned after my actual real life Barbie doll collection. And most of you who follow me here that are doll people know how diverse my collection is. So my Sims are gonna just end up reflecting that just default. So I do have a lot of CC that is going to be like braided hair textures, afro hair textures, curly hairs, and things like that that are going to be more useful for ethnic Sims. I also tend to look for hairs that look like everyday hairstyles. So I have a lot of like loose hairs that are just, you know, hair just straight down. It's not styled in any particular way. And I don't dress my Barbie dolls very glamorously. Most of them just look like they're people you would see on the streets outside walking around your neighborhood. So that's kind of what I'm trying to reflect. I didn't even realize how much hair there really is until I scrolled through here. But I just want to show you guys some of the stuff that I have that are my favorite based on the creators. So let's just take a look at some of the stuff that I have. This one is by KIARA, ZURK. It's long, but it doesn't look distracting. My preference really is long hair. Most of my Barbies have long hair, but in The Sims, long hair is tricky because sometimes it clips through clothing and objects as they're moving around in their world. So you have to be kind of picky about it. And then this is also a tied up hair version of the exact same hair. So I love these two because I can kind of play around with them for like an athletic outfit. I could put this hair on it for every day. It could be just worn down like this, so it gives me a little bit of variety. So this one is by KIARA ZURK. Another one of my go-tos, I would say. You'll have to wait for another video for me to show you the stuff I have for the boys. OAKIYO, I have quite a bit by this person, and these hairs are, as you can tell, very Maxis match. I don't have a whole lot of alpha hairs in my folder anymore because the alpha hairs are difficult for me to work with. They sometimes clip through the clothes more, and they have strange lines and like textures in the hair that for me is very distracting to look at. Though the hairstyles will be really pretty, it's just too distracting when I'm playing. When I see those kinds of like flaws in the hair, I just can't concentrate. So I had to remove a lot of that stuff, and I'm still replacing a lot of that stuff because the alpha hairs, I was able to find styles that I was really looking for that I needed like specific hairstyles for, but it's just a sacrifice I have to make, some adjustments I have to make, because my intent was to try to get as many of them to look like my actual, you know, my dolls, but it can't always be exact, so it is what it is. My cast background is a custom background. This is a new one I'm using. It's actually modded for the Horse Ranch expansion, so that's why it looks like this. It's supposed to be like in a barn or something, and then when I switch to pets and do horses, the horse can fit inside of this room, and it's not going to make the whole room break like like the ones that I was using before Horse Ranch came out. My favorite thing about it is this big mirror back here, because I do like to look at my sim from different angles, and it's so much like less time that I have to spend in cast when I can just see at a glance the front and the back of the sim. But anyways, I love this braided hair texture, and there's another variant with some strands in the front. I love textures like this that are like curly, coarse kind of hairs, and they look so good on my ethnic sims, my mixed sims. I have so many characters that are supposed to be like mixed people, and their hair textures are a little bit tricky to duplicate. So those are some of my favorites by OAKIYO. And then this is another one that I newly discovered, GEGE Sims. Y'all, some of these hairs, they're so pretty. This one I use all the time. It's like a nice, neat, textured bun. If you get up close, you can see there's a little bit of texture to the hair, almost like a blown out coarse hair or texturized coarse hair, which is great for my mixed sims and for my ethnic sims because it looks like you had like a relaxer put into your hair to get that texture. This is another interesting texture. I don't use this hair too much because it's so defined. It's very distinct hair, so I like to use this one for like specific characters, one I haven't seen yet because it's new in my game, but I love how neat this bob is. This is another one I use a lot on my Asian sims actually. But look, if you get up close, you can see these little rough edges. I think that's so cool. It looks so textured. I really like that. This paired with like baby hairs, oh my gosh. Like if you look at the thumbnail here, you can see that the sim that is in the picture actually has baby hairs, and these hairs just go really good with different kinds of baby hairs. I'll show you the baby hairs I have as well. Another braided texture. This one actually came with two different types of textures in the braid. Like this one I like better than the other one that it came with, but the other one was like a wavy texture. So the back here was like kind of wavy, and there were some strands that came out that kind of poked out to kind of make it look a little messy like goddess braids. It was nice, but I like this one better, so I took that one out. This is very intricate and pretty. I love this creator, GEGE Sims. Their work is really good. I love how neat everything looks. And look at this. Look at the part, how there's like little pieces of the part that you can see where the hair is being pulled into the braid. That's like an interesting detail that they put in there that I really love. And if you look at the part, it's not totally straight, and that makes it look so much more realistic, I think. But it's still Maxis match, so it looks so good on your sims. And this is the other version with the braids in the front. Love this one. This updo braid with like the loose strands coming out. This is like a goddess style, and then I have another version of it without the strands. We have two versions with no strands in the front at all, but loose pieces, the neat version. And this bun is very much similar to the one that comes with Growing Together. However, it just isn't as big. The bun at the top is not as big. That one is like so big you can't even see the whole thing. Alright, this is another one of my absolute favorites. This one, I have to stop myself from using this hair on too many Sims because I get really tempted to put this hair on freaking everybody. Like, it's like a big, full, bushy ponytail, and it's just giving me so much like Puerto Rican girl vibes. Like, I love this hair so much. And then this is another one of my absolute favorites by this creator. Not sure what's going on here. This little clipping issue in the front with the forehead. I think maybe her forehead is jutting out a little bit too much, because that's the first time I saw that happen, and that doesn't usually happen with this hair. It's usually very on point. Okay, I adjusted her forehead a little bit. I don't know exactly which part of her face is getting in the way, but something was getting in the way. But anyway, so this is what it's supposed to look like. But anyway, I love this look because it's so sleek. It's nice and straight, and it's very long, so this is great for remaking some of my dolls that have long straight hair. I like the side parts. This is like the look right here with some big old hoop earrings. On point. I love it. There's a few variants with the hair over the shoulders, behind the shoulders, straight back. So you got a lot of options here with what you want to do with these pieces that are, poking out. See how this part of the hair is coming over her chest, very flat, but you can also have a version that's like a little bit farther away from the body if you want to give her, bigger chest or something like that, and not have to worry about it clipping and moving around. So I like that variety, although I like the really flat version best because I just like the hair sitting close to the body. My biggest pet peeve when it comes to CC hair, I cannot be the only one, is floating hair. Ever since Sims 3, I remember just being like cursed with so much floating hair in that game. Oh, it used to drive me nuts. Okay, I hate that. Another one here is Clumsy Alien, is a really, really popular one. I think a lot of people have this creators work in their folder. If you don't, then you must be sleeping all the time, because I don't even know how you don't know about this person. The thing about Clumsy Alien is they have a lot of the hair packaged in with outfits and clothing. You're getting more than just hair, but of course you can just get the hair by itself too. So these are more like the messy kind of hairstyles. I tend to go for very neat hairstyles that don't have a lot of hair in the face, because I like to see the faces of my Sims just like I do with my dolls. But sometimes it's necessary for you to have like a messier, disheveled look. That's what I like about this creator, is that the hairs aren't super neat looking. It looks like you caught the character in the middle of the day. Like they were just right in the middle of getting home from school or work, and they're just a little bit unkempt. So you can still see like the style. You can see that they put some work into their hairstyle, and that it's very deliberate hairstyles, but at the same time it's a little bit disheveled looking. So I like the feel of that. I guess I should mention these hairs, even though I don't use them too often because they are not Maxis Match hairs, but Brandy Sims I do highly recommend, because for alpha hairs, these hairs are almost flawless. Even with my reshade on, almost flawless, very neat, very close to the body. They don't float, and that's a huge pet peeve. I can't stand floating hair. This bob is so sleek and pretty looking. They have a lot of really good hairs. This is another one that I like a lot, but like, see what I mean? When you get up close, you see these lines in the head. Things like that will start to distract me as I'm playing, because I'm so like paying attention to lots of little tiny details. I can't help myself. I just do it. I don't mean to do it. I try to ignore it. Like this one, when she's turning, can you guys see this? It's like see-through. The hair is see-through. And that really distracts me and disturbs me. But from a distance, it looks very pretty. So like, these are the kinds of hairs that I usually will save to put on either really specific characters that need to have these hairstyles, or sometimes I'll use them for like just random background characters that I don't have to see too often and I want them to have a certain look. I'll use this. I'm just turning the Sims so you guys can see them from different angles and how the hair sits on the body in different angles, because I can't tell when I look at thumbnails when I'm CC shopping what the hair is gonna look like from the back. Like, see this one for example? Like this is a little bit peevy for me. I know I'm being so specific. This part that's coming up over her shoulder, it's not laying flat against her body, and that will prevent me from wanting to use the hair. From the front, it looks just fine. It doesn't lay close to the body, so like when she's moving, I feel like I would get distracted by it. It's still a nice hairstyle. It's very pretty, but still, like, I'll just be like, yeah, I'm good with this, and I'll end up changing my mind about it later and end up taking it out of my game. So those are the kinds of things I'm looking for. KAMIIRI, this is another creator whose styles I am enjoying. This one's really nice for a long hair, but I'm not a big fan of how this hair, like how it floats so far away from the chest. So this is the kind of hair that I would probably end up using for a sim that has a very small chest, which is not too many of my sims. Most likely it'll end up being used for like a teenager or something. For the variety, of course, I like the way it looks. It's just I don't like the way it sits. I feel like I'm reviewing the hair rather than actually showing you guys what I own. This one for sure with the dreadlocks. Pigtails are super cute. This one, I think I've used this quite a bit too. And this one is another dreadlocks version. And I also like this one quite a bit. This one I like. It reminds me of Bella Goth for some reason. The next thing I have in here is A. Harris. And that's AH00B, the creator. And this person is very well known as well. They have a lot of CC content, a lot of clothing content that's really good and very Maxis match. A lot of players use this person's creations in their game. I can clearly see why. Very well done. And I have a whole lot of this person's stuff in my game, although I don't know, like I like it, but at the same time, I have so much of it and I try to not use it too often because I feel like because I have so much, all of my sims are gonna have like hair by the same creator, and I want them to look very different from each other, so I try to not use too much of it if I can help it. These are by Green Llamas. Is there such a thing as like semi-Maxis match? Because I feel like there are some hairs that are somewhere in between alpha and Maxis. Like it's not alpha enough to qualify as alpha at all, but this is cute. But it's not Maxis enough to be totally like qualified as Maxis match. I don't know if that makes sense what I'm saying, but I've noticed that about some of the textures, like they're not quite exactly Maxis match. For example, QICC, which is Quirky Introvert, is what the QI stands for. They have some really good hairstyles. I love this one. This is one of my favorites from this creator, for sure. And I really love this long ponytail. This is one I downloaded to replace one of my alpha long ponytails, and I like it a whole lot. This is a nice thin braid. This is another one that reminds me of Bella Goth. I like these like semi-long, kind of like mid-length hairs that they do. They also have these big hairs if you're looking for curly hairs. I had such a hard time finding curly Maxis match hairs. I love to put earrings on my dolls. So my Sims, of course, since they're fashioned after my dolls, I gotta have earrings on them. And these hairs that cover up the ears like this and the shoulders, it's hard to find earrings for because they don't show when you put them on them. So I'm not a big fan of those kinds of hairstyles. But anyways, the creator is really good. The quality of the hair is really good. The styles are very intricate. Like this one, for example, sometimes I'll look at this hair and be like, this is Maxis match? I don't know why. I don't know why it doesn't come off totally Maxis to me. I don't know what it is about the texture. I can't put my finger on it. It's not see-through at all. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it doesn't look like clay enough. It needs to be more clay-like. This is really cute too. There's a lot of cute textures and hairstyles here that I haven't even used yet on any of my Sims that are in the world that I'm playing because it's just so much, y'all. I have so much hair CC, it's not even funny. It's not that I'm gonna use every single piece right away. It's just I like to have it in here in case there's a character that I need to make and I'm like, oh, I don't have anything for that one. This one's another KIARA ZURK style. KIARA ZURK, I'm not gonna say it's a favorite of mine, but I find gems within their collection, so I really do like the stuff that I find. This is another cool one. I don't know whose this is. So now we're gonna move on to DOGSILL, and these are some really cute hairs that I have by this creator. This creator absolutely is one of my go-tos. When I'm looking for new hair, I always go and look for hair from this creator because it's just so on point. Like this one, so pretty. I think this one is supposed to be modeled after maybe a wedding stories hair possibly, but that one has like this huge like clasp in the side and that afro doesn't, so it's really nice. And for short hairs, I feel like these are some really nice short hairstyles as well. This one, oh my goodness, how cute is this? Let's change the color so we can get like a better look at it. This one reminds me of like the first one I showed you guys, but like a shorter blunt cut version of that. This one is also another one of my favorites. I love the bangs and the sleek, simple look, and I can totally put earrings on my sim and it will show up. Yeah, this has got like waves in it. It's real pretty. Yeah, so I don't know the names of each of these styles. I'm not really focused on each individual style so much as the vibe of the creator. There's definitely a vibe with each creator. Their style is different and it shows through in their work. Another really popular one, of course, is ARETHA B, and I'm not gonna get too detailed showing you guys all the little pieces that I really like here because they're all very good, very well made, and it's a well-known creator. So if you're into CC, you probably already have a bunch of ARETHA B stuff in your game. But just really quickly, I'll just show you some of the stuff that I have. And I'm not sure if all of the styles I have from this creator I'll end up even keeping in game because I'm so specific about the kinds of styles that I'm looking for. A lot of the styles that I end up with is experimental. I'm just trying them out to see if I like them. I love this style. I don't know, just it's very like Farrah Fawcett like. But yeah, so these are all of my ARETHA B styles. I think they're all very well made. I love the hairs that have variants where you can have some like in front of your shoulder and some behind your back, or if you have hairs that have like this. I don't like how this pokes out like this. That's not my thing. Oh geez, yeah, all this floating, I'm not with the floating, but like this is cool. I like this. It's close to the body. Yeah, these are the other ones that I really like that have like that old school kind of a hairstyle with the bangs kind of split in the middle like that. I feel like your sim would have like a very specific personality rocking this hairstyle. And this is a new one that I just got today to try out. It's pretty. Gee whiz, does it float? Let's see if we raise her chest a little. Oh good, it doesn't move with the... Okay, that's a little easier to blend. But I mean, dang, I gotta do all that. See how like the hair is like floating away from the body? That's just so weird to me. I don't know. So pretty. Tell me if I'm being like picky about the hair floating away from the body. Like, am I making a big deal over it? Is it really not that big a deal in game? Because it casts, to me it is. And sometimes I'll like turn on the traits just to see them move around so I can see how the hair behaves on them when they're moving with the animations. I don't know, maybe it's just my OCD. This is some of the alpha stuff that I have by EBONIX, which I love the styles, but again, the alpha texture is just, it just freaks me out. I don't know why my KIARA ZURK stuff isn't like congregated together like most of my other creators here, but as we scroll, I'm just coming across some of the KIARA ZURK stuff, so I'm just pointing them out as I see them. But most of the ones that I do have, I love. Here's another one, SIMANDY. That's pretty good for long hairs. I love this one. It's so pretty. Yeah, it's very boho kind of a hairstyle. Here's another KIARA ZURK that I really love. This long, neat updo. It's so pretty, and I love how long it is. And it doesn't look crazy even though it's long. It's hard to find good long hairs, y'all. This is KIARA ZURK. This is a curly style by KIARA ZURK. I love the curly bangs, that's rare. And this is a braided style. This is another one too that I really like that's kind of, I feel like it's a little underrated creator, MARSO. They're just very to the point, very sleek and neat. I'm not sure about this because I don't like how flat it looks from the side. I think I'm gonna end up removing that one. But the rest of them that I have get the job done. I love this one too. It's a lot of personality with this one. Some of the styles that I get, like this for example, I get specifically to put onto teenagers. So I don't think I have a whole bunch of stuff by this creator, but that stood out to me. And then lastly, I want to show you guys these hairs by Miko. And these ones are a little bit more like cartoony kind of, the textures, rather than being like clay. I don't mind it. I think it's very nice looking on the Sims and still blends very well, and it's not distracting to me. The texture is, it's very subtle, the difference between these textures and the other Maxis stuff that I own, but you really can't tell. It's so pretty. I do like how good they did these long hairs, because long hairs are really hard to find that actually look good. This one's also one of my favorites. It's like these long braids, these long pigtails, and this like anime type of like bangs. I think is just interesting. And this is the Ariel hair by Miko, and it's supposed to look like, obviously, the Little Mermaid, Ariel's red hair. And it does look just like her hair. I love this. It's so cute. So those are some of the creators that I use. A lot of these people, I just download their stuff straight from CurseForge. It's so easy to find stuff over here, and once you do find something, all you have to do is click on it, and then you just press that button, install, and literally sploop, lickety split, it'll just be in your game. And see how the files that say zip, but when you install them from here, they just automatically unzip into your mods folder. They're not gonna go into your mods folder organized, so you have to do that on your own. But for me, the organizing process is made very simple with this app that I use called Sims 4 Mod Manager, and there is a CurseForge portion inside of this app as well that is really useful. So it helps me to keep all of my CurseForge stuff and the rest of my CC that I download from different places organized. I use a combination of this, CurseForge, and my regular mods folder to keep everything organized, so I know what I'm looking at, and it's easy for me to remove things when CC is broken or I just don't like something. So that's just what I'll do. And then let me just, before I forget, show you guys skin details where I have my baby hairs. So I have a few different sets. This one, which is more of an alpha style hairline, but I don't mind it, by OBSCURUS, and it comes with lots of different color swatches so you can match them to your hairstyles. And then this one says MIMILKY. This one is by C Productions, which I actually use quite a bit, and there's another variant here. We've got, and these also have all the same hair color swatches that come with the game. This one is nice and subtle. This reminds me of when I'm like drawing on baby hairs on my dolls. Sometimes it's very, very subtle and you can't tell every little strand apart from each other, but it works. Here's another variant of that. I've got some from Real Sim, I think is the name of the creator. So like the previous ones I showed you guys from Twisted Cat. And then this one is by Real Sim. This one is interesting. They not only have color swatches, but they also have a change in like how far down the hair will come. Depending on how big your Sim's forehead is, you might need different places in their forehead where the hair comes down to. So you can very realistically duplicate a lace front wig look. Isn't that what's up? And they also have a variant for men. This is the male version with the sideburns. Pretty cool. Yeah, so altogether it looks like I have like maybe, I don't know, maybe like 8 different kinds of baby hairs that I use in conjunction with my actual hair that's in my game. And that's pretty much the overall stuff that I really like. So hopefully you guys got some value out of looking at my CC collection for hair. If you see something that you like, I suggest definitely Google them first. Google the creators and you should be able to find most of them on Patreon. I would suggest getting them from Patreon because it's so simple to download, but there's so many different places where you can find these creators, you guys. Sims Resource and different places like that. I did use Sims Resource when I first started making my collection of CC, but it just became too tedious for me and time consuming waiting for the screens to load, so that's why I decided to stop using that and to just go with CurseForge. And if it's not something that I can download from CurseForge, I try to download it directly from the website of the creators, which is usually Patreon. But if it's not Patreon, I mean, as long as it's fairly simple and easy to use, I'll go with it. That's what I've been doing. I'll show you guys my male CC in another video, and I'll show you guys my clothing and other objects and stuff like that if you guys want to see that stuff as well. I have a lot, so I have to break everything up, but hopefully this was helpful for you and give you some ideas on what you might want to add to your game. I'll try to make a list of the different creators' names and put them into the description box so you guys can have some people to look up. But I don't feel comfortable linking all of them just because I don't have the time to go looking all over the place for links, and I don't know how some of these creators feel about people linking their materials. I don't know. Sometimes creators are like picky about you linking their stuff, and some of them don't care. So like, I don't know which ones are which. Absolutely, I'll put the creators' names down below that I mentioned, and you can definitely go to CurseForge and just search their names in the search box and a lot of them will show up for you. I'll just put hair, hit search, and like a crap ton of them will come up. You can go even more specific by narrowing down the categories so that it's only showing you exactly what you want to see, make it easier for you to find stuff. But there's so much stuff here from these same creators who I mentioned that I don't even have in my game, that are probably really fly hairs that you guys would love. Like, this is really pretty, Abigail. This is a nice hairstyle, and I don't have this one in my game, so they do update this quite often, so I would definitely suggest you coming over and looking at this. I love CurseForge because not only is it simple, but it's also got a collection of all these different creators in one place, so I don't have to keep searching and have tab after tab after tab after tab. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's too much. I don't got time for all these tabs. Like, just, can we just get it done? That's why I like to come over here and look at this stuff. That's just what I do. Let me know what you guys think. If you have any other requests, then leave them in the comment section. Thank you so much to my viewer who asked about my CC. I want to give a special thanks and shout out to the person who asked about my CC collection, because that's who prompted me to make this video for you guys, and I'm sure plenty of people will find some value in this video as well. So thanks a lot, and I'll see you guys in the next one. My name's Gypsy. You're watching Broken Dolly TV, and I hope you go and have yourself a Simi or a Dolly day.